Welcome to an Evo diary on the new Honda/Acura NSX. Time was extremely limited and we weren't allowed to take a proper film team out to America, so you'll have to put up with Catchpole camera skills. Still, hopefully it'll give you a flavour of what the car is like.
So here we are. I'm going to try and do a bit of talking. We're in the brand new NSX. We're at the Thermal Raceway, the wonderfully named Thermal Raceway. It sounds like something out of Cars the movie, the Pixar film. And yeah, I've done very few laps in this car, but we're going to try and talk my way around it. We're on the Trofeo R tyre, which is the optional tyre, and we've only got about 3 laps now. We've got this 9-speed DCT box, which is nicely responsive. Steering wheel feels large, but equally it's like a Ferrari. You instantly feel like you're going to be able to just keep your hands at that 2/3 position. We're in the track mode, we've gone straight for that, straight past the Sport Plus and the normal. Now, first thing to say, coming up here, we're following Dario Franchitti, a friend of Evo. Noise in this car, so they've piped the induction noise into the cabin, and I think it sounds actually much better from the inside than it does almost from the outside.
Honda has worked hard on the aerodynamics of the NSX, and despite the relatively unfussy design, there is some quite clever stuff going on around the skin. At the front, the upright vents channel air around the wheels, helping it reattach cleanly to the bodywork behind and feed the rear intakes. The C-pillars then split the air in multiple directions for cooling and cleaning up the airflow in the car's wake to help with drag and downforce.
So one of the most impressive things is the fact that this is a brake-by-wire system, and you really wouldn't notice it. I had to remind myself when I got in after the first lap that it was brake-by-wire, because it just doesn't feel like it at all. It's really impressive. Into this corner here, stay wide, and then cut back this apex. You can feel a little bit of understeer. Tuck it in nice and early for this one, up over there. And it's very strange because you can feel the electric motors just will pull you out of the corners, lots of late apexes. So you can kind of feel a nice bit of you can feel the rear just pushing out on the exit of the corners, but equally you can feel the front pulling out of the corners as well. It is quick as well. Just tuck it into the corner. It rips down the straights. It's really, and I'm not saying very anything intelligent to be honest, but
as you can see, this isn't my most engaging performance as a presenter. Blame jet lag, blame learning a track and a car at the same time. What I clearly want to be telling you is that this has maximum outputs of 573 brake horsepower and 476 pounds-foot from its turbocharged V6 and 3 electric motors. 2 on the front axle and 1 between the engine and the 9-speed dual-clutch transmission. Obviously all that hardware has a penalty, but thankfully it feels much lighter than its 1725 kilo curb weight would suggest.
So track mode will let you have a bit of a slide, but then it steps in pretty quickly actually, so might try and turn everything off in a minute. The car feels good. The steering is something perhaps not quite, not a lot of feel. It'll be interesting to try it on the road, see what the actual sort of the feel is like, but it feels perfectly intuitive to catch. The steering's nice and quick, so you instantly feel like you're on top of it, and it feels like a much smaller car. Actually, you get into it and it feels big. It's a car that seems to look quite small from the outside, then you get in it and it feels quite wide and quite big. But then you start driving it and it does that thing of obviously shrinking around you, which you hope the car's going to do. and it's nice and easy to place because you've got these haunches here, so it's easy to see exactly where you want to pick up an apex, and that helps to bring the car back in again, which is nice.
One thing it's worth noticing here is how relatively thin the A-pillars are for a modern supercar. This is something Honda worked particularly hard on, utilising a design called 3DQ on the steel in the process. The other ergonomics are good too. The seats look simple but hold you well around your torso, and the cabin has been designed so that you can brace your legs comfortably in the corners. On the road, you appreciate the largely electric-driven silence of quiet mode, particularly around town. Sport mode felt a little redundant as the V6 sounds dreary and the performance is muted, so you want to leapfrog it and go straight to Sport Plus or even Track. The ride remains impressively fluid, even with the magnetic ride dampers in their firmest setting, and you cover ground almost spookily quickly. Our couple of hours in the new NSX felt like the briefest of glimpses at a fascinating car that will take some days to really get to know. I can't wait to try it again. To see more Evo Diaries, just click on the links above. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking on the button that says, well, subscribe. Thank you.